What's up, Facebook family, social media family, 7.5 billion people on the planet. I hope that your day is inspiring. I hope that you feel encouraged about your successes, and even if you had temporary defeats, that you have gotten back on that horse and you are still pursuing that thing in which you desire most, and that is to accomplish your dreams and goals. Today I want to, just try to talk about being available, making sure that you are open to the opportunities that come before you. And even if you don't make yourself available, that you learn to create availability for yourself in terms of what you're pursuing. We live in a world where, particularly in the United States, where you can write out a plan of action and you can stay highly motivated and you can get out and take a step-by-step process in accomplishing your dreams. And the first place where a dream permeates is in the mind. Nothing that you see in the world exists outside of someone's thinking. Whatever you see in the world is a creative person that thought about a need or a product, and they give that to the world, and then the world consumes that and they fall in love with that. My question to you is that, do you have that same quality? Do you have that same desire? Do you aim to make an impact in the world with some product or something that you feel that you have to create? If it's something that's in your mind, then it's preparing you to do that. But you must prepare yourself to understand that if my mind is telling me to do that, then what steps do I need to make sure that that plan is in place? And this is where you become available to the laws of the universe. This is where you become available to research and finding out how other people have done it. And even if you don't research it, right, and somebody has done it, the main thing that you can do is just say, well, if this is my idea and nobody has done this idea this particular way, then what steps do I need to make sure that I can fulfill the desire and the plan of action for my dreams and goals? And I'm using myself as an example. When I graduated from high school, I was told by people that I wasn't college material, right? And for the longest time, I believed that. I thought that I understood that, because some people said you have to have a mind that is equipped to propel you into a level of higher thinking. And the resistance to that, to me, was, well, maybe I'm not smart enough, or maybe I'm not surrounded by the right people, or maybe my environment isn't conducive to me even having an education. But my mom said you could do anything that you put your mind to. And when I finished high school, I didn't even think about college at the time. And my mind was, what could I do to help my mom? What could I do to secure financial success so that she doesn't have to struggle anymore? And what I discovered was that my mind would send me to places that I didn't want to go. And I'll give you an example. Say, for instance, if you're sitting at home and all of a sudden you're thinking about, well, I want to go out tonight. Well, where did that thought come from? Well, why would you want to go out tonight? Is it available for you to go out tonight? I know it sounds absurd, but follow me anyway. So you're sitting there at home and you're like, man, I need to go out tonight. Where? To a club. Why? Man, I just need to get out and socialize with friends and just see the beautiful ladies and just see the ambiance of the environment. So what do? The thought is in there, then it becomes a powerful thought. It turns about like 9:30 at night. You be like, man, I got to go. So what do? You iron your clothes out. You take the shower, you put the cologne on, you get the keys, you get in the car, and there you are. The next thing you know, in the club. Well, why was I available to that? What makes you available to those type of things? It becomes that way because that's the thing that you wanted to do most. And once you do that, then you find out for yourself that, man, I had a great time doing that. Well, the dream that you have had the same intensity. And I was sitting outside on a tree one day, and I was saying to myself, well, maybe I should try to go to school. Maybe I should try college anyway. And I was sitting out on the tree, and I'll never forget this to this day. It's still like one of the greatest stories ever. There's a guy named Frederick Franklin, but we call him Wolf, and I think I talk about it all the time. He was just walking down the street, man. And when he was walking down the street, he just came and sat down, and we had never had a conversation before in the history of universal planning and universal laws ever. He came up and he just started talking about Alabama State University. And the whole thing about talking about Alabama State University, ladies and gentlemen, was my man was saying, yo, it's a lot of beautiful girls at State, man. You can go to class, you can come out of class, you can make your own schedule, you can do what you want, man. And it's a lot of fun, man. You'll be there with the homeboys, and then there'll be a diverse group of people that you can associate with and do whatever. And he said he loved it. And I listened to him, and I thought that his thought was convincing. And then I said, well, but what steps do you need to do that? You listen, you see what I mean? I didn't know where to go. I didn't know what to do. I said, what steps do you need to do that? He said, first, you got to go back to high school and talk to a counselor and see if they can help you. Number one, see, he had already given me the key. The first step that he gave me was you got to go talk to a counselor. Say, for instance, somebody say you got a dream, but nobody can give you the first step. Then you can't even take any action because, number one, if you're out in the wilderness and you don't know which way to go, but someone says to you, if you can see above the trees and you see the North Star, then go north. That's what he said to me. He basically said, go north. Go to your counselor and see what they have to say, even though you've graduated. I was like, what? But you got to remember, this is some years ago. I was like, okay, man, I'll try it. And we talked for about 2 hours, but we talked about everything, though. And this is the first time that me and this brother, and he was a little bit older, but this time he was breaking bread with me about trying to develop my mind. And most of the time when you deal with people, nobody ever tells you how to develop your mind. And I would say to you on this broadcast, if I tell you how to develop your mind, number one is I'm going to tell you to meditate and reflect on what your dream is. And then the next thing I'm going to tell you is go read something. Don't spend your time, a lot of time, trying to get into that TV unless that TV is going to teach you something like a documentary, or if you just want to have a fudge brain and you done so much and then you just want to relax. I get it. But number one is you got to read some things, man. Even though it might be difficult and you may not have read anything in your life, you got to read something in order to understand something. And then after that, then you begin to put the plan in place. So the next thing I did is, how you doing? So the next thing I did, I went and talked to a counselor. Her name was Miss Bell. And she said to me, Leroy, you could have went to college a long time ago had you come and ask the right question and did the right thing and asked the right people. Come to find out that she was a graduate of Alabama State University. You see, because now that Wolf told me that, then I made myself available to the opportunity of seeing whether or not this was even feasible for me. How many of you think about feasibility? Do studies on yourself and see if something is possible. I didn't even think it was feasible. But she broke it down. She gave me some more steps. I followed those steps. And then all of a sudden I found myself in an environment of higher learning. And when I was going through the process, you know what I discovered, ladies and gentlemen? And then Tony Robbins says this all the time. And I even then I was doing it. He said that in order for you to get a good answer, you must ask yourself a quality question. So my challenge to you is that when you talk about your dreams and your goals and your aspirations, what kind of questions do you ask yourself? The first question I asked myself when I was at Alabama State University, I said it like this: why am I even here? Now I looked around, I saw beautiful women, make no mistake about it. Then I saw a lot of the homeboys, I saw the fraternities and the sororities, I saw the professors, I saw the campus. But all of that was just a byproduct, because the number one goal for me was to secure an education so that I could help my mom. That overrode everything that I could ever ask myself about being at a university. When you're at a university, you must ask yourself, why are you there? If you say your intentions is to party, trust me, everything about a party is going to be there. If you say your intention is to find the perfect girlfriend, trust me, that's going to be there. But when you ask yourself, a deeper question is, what is going to be everlasting if I were to accomplish my dream? When I graduated, ladies and gentlemen, being the fact that I did accomplish my dream, I got my college degree from Alabama State University, and I don't want to make no mistake about that. That university gave me a chance to be the person that I am today. But more important than that, is the fact that I gave my college degree to my mom when I finished. Because it was my dream to go there, but it was even deeper for me to finish. And I placed my diploma in her hand. And I said to her, this is for you. Now, my question to you, ladies and gentlemen, is whatever you're chasing, right? What is the overall perspective for chasing it? If it's personal, then just tell people it's personal. If it's deeper, if it's community driven, let it be community driven. If it's spiritual, let it be spiritual. But you got to open yourself up. You got to make yourself available to why you're doing it. Not why I would want you to do it, not why your parents would want you to do it, but why are you doing it? Because if you put a high investment in it for yourself, then you have no choice but to achieve it, right? If not, then why are you even doing it? If you're playing with the time that you have on the planet, then you're going to look around in 10 years from now, you're going to feel like you wasted every moment. But if you take that 10 years and you tie that 10 years into what you feel you want to accomplish, then those 10 years will never feel as if they've been wasted. And time is not really wasted. You just haven't focused on the right thing yet. Once I began to understand those kind of keys, then I began to realize that dreams are made to be manifest. But dreams can't be manifested unless I take the physical actions to extract it from my mind and put it out into the world. And that's what you have in the world today. Everything that we have, from good, bad, to indifference, it was created because of the thinking of man. And we are high-level thinking creatures. We're the highest thinking creatures on the planet. And we're supposed to do the most good, have the most impact, and influence the world around us by taking care of it and helping each other. But sometimes those things are a byproduct. Sometimes those things we don't think about until we're like 90 years old and we're pretty much in our grave and we destroyed everything, and then we say, I wished I could have done that. Well, whatever we do from this point forward, you got to realize that you're leaving this planet to a generation that are far behind us. Some are not even born yet. But everything that we do with our mind, that we bring into reality, is going to help, hinder, or harm the environment that we're in. And whatever choice you make with that, that's on you. Whatever choice I make with that, that's on me. But I got to realize that I'm trying to do the most good, and you must realize the same thing, that you got to do the most good if you still want this planet to have living conditions for the future generation. But even if we don't, you got to understand that this earth is still going to spin. Man hasn't figured out how to stop it from spinning yet. So if the earth is still spinning and you're still living and you're making yourself available, then why can't you chase your dream? Especially in a country like this. In America, you can be and do anything you want. And I say this all the time because it's true. And even though certain things may become to hinder us or hold us back, still at the bottom line, it's the freest place on the planet. You can wake up in the morning and decide whatever you want to do, and you can do it. And you can go to bed at night thinking, well, I did or I didn't do it, and wake up in the morning and try it again. But when you wake up, you got to pursue. You got to be available. You got to make things happen for yourself. Because if you don't, it's almost a waste of a life. And you know why? When you waste your life? When you look back 10 years from today and you say, did I accomplish anything I set out to do? Is my life any different from day 1 to day 10? Is my life different from year 1 to year 10? If you are making significant strides in your life and you feel happy about what you're doing, and you get 10 years in and you are happy with the results of those 10 years, then my friend, you're living a productive life. And there's nothing nobody can do to take that away. But if you're living a life where you're just thinking all the time and you're not putting anything to action, then you're not like Warren Buffett. You're not like Jay-Z. You're not like Kevin Hart. You're not like any of those men or these women that have made a significant change and contributing to the overall scheme of life. You must remember this, that every morning that you get up, it is the perfect opportunity for you to look within yourself. I'm not even talking about your wife, your kids, or anybody. I'm talking to each individual, even if you got your wife or your kids. It's the perfect opportunity for when you arise that day to look deep inside of yourself and say, am I living my full potential? If you are not, then you must ask yourself, what can I do to live my full potential? Even if you got a job and you got a dream, pursue the dream along with the job. If you got a burning desire like Sylvester Stallone to say, I'm not even taking no job, acting is going to be my thing, I'm going to write my own screenplay, I'm going to negotiate my own screenplay, and then I'm going to get out there, I'm going to star in my own movie, and I'm going to win an Oscar. He did that with everybody being opposed to the dreams and the goals that he wanted. He wasn't even listening to nobody. He knew what he wanted inside. What do you want? If the universe made something available to you that's going to benefit the world, what do you say you want? What's most important to you? What's that burning desire? And if you were to die tomorrow, will you be satisfied with everything that you've done today? When I graduated from college and I gave my mom that college degree, that was just one phase of it. But I got a chance to do that before she left this planet, to say, this is what I did for you. Now, I don't carry that to my grave with me. There may be some other things that I'll carry to my grave, ladies and gentlemen. That's one that I didn't. That's one thing that I will not carry to my grave. The fact that someone told me to take this step to go talk to a counselor, and then that counselor told me, Leroy, you could have been there a long time ago if you would have asked the right question and come to the right people. So, ladies and gentlemen, you need to do the exact same thing with your life and understand that you got to ask a quality question, and you got to get somebody in your corner, and you got to get that door open. Now, once you get that door open, they're no longer responsible for what you do. You are responsible at that point, because now you have to realize that somebody took a chance on me, and they don't even know me. Like my man Wolf, he didn't really know me. He just knew I was another young brother like he was. And Miss Bell, she didn't really know me. She just knew I was a student at the high school. But then they kicked that door open for me, and I walked through, and the goal was to get an education. Although I enjoyed the beautiful women at Alabama State University, I enjoyed hanging out with all the fellas. I enjoyed the fraternities and the sororities that I saw. I enjoyed talking to the professors of the university. And my professor, and I think the chair of the business school, was Dr. Percy Vaughn, if I got his name right. But this man was so challenging in the classroom that it was almost intimidating. But he would say something like, Fleming, if you want something in life, you got to go get it, no matter what's in front of you. And he was the first one to expose me to like trying to be an entrepreneur. But at that time, I didn't know what I wanted or how to pursue that or what would it take to accomplish that. But that's what a university of learning is all about, so that you can find that quality and embed that quality in your mind and get with a group of people. Napoleon Hill called it a mastermind. Get with a group of people that's going to help you do that. And I'm going to end with these three people, because I was reading Think and Grow Rich and The Law of Success. And Dr. Hill talked about three people that build a mastermind group. It was Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, and I think the guy, last name is Firestone. I don't know what his name. Now, listen at these three people. You got one man that's building cars. You got one man that invented the light bulb. And you got the other man, Edison, hold on now. Edison, Firestone, and Ford. You got all of these men that just sitting down thinking about how can they change the world. Three men that impacted the world so drastically that if they weren't to be here, the world wouldn't even be the same. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's important and saying to you guys, you got to open up to the possibility that there's still more inventions out there to be made, and you're the one to do it. And I'm trying to reinvent myself every single day. And that's why I think my writing poetry was my gift to the world. It was God's gift to me, and then it's my gift to the world. And when I leave this planet, hopefully it's like at 99 years old. But whatever stage it is, I want to make sure that when I look you in your eye and you ask me what my contributions were, number one is say I got a college degree that I gave to my mom. Number two, I lost her, and God gave me writing to overcome that loss and then to share that loss with the rest of the people on the planet. Once I know that I've done that and I can look you in your eye and say that with confidence, then I know that I'm living my dreams. I'm living my goals. I'm extracting from my mind those things that are relevant to me in my time. And you just got to be able to do the same thing. So, ladies and gentlemen, I just want to thank you all for dropping by. If you like this message, share it with the world, because the main thing you want to do is you want to reach people and give them a perspective that allow them to get out and chase their dreams. And the number one thing you got to do is you just got to make yourself available to the laws of the universe. Once you make yourself available to those laws, then you have to ask yourself a quality question. And I'm going to just start off, who can help me accomplish my dreams? If someone helps you and they open the door for you, when you walk in, it is your responsibility, not theirs. And I'm going to leave with this last thought. There's a guy named Antonio T. Smith Jr. He is the type of guy that leads you to the door, right? But the dude would even open the door for you. but he can't take all the steps for you. See, that's what people want. They want someone to come in and say, not only will I invest in what you have, I want you to open the door. I want you to walk through the door with me. I want you to do my negotiation. I want you to make the deal for me. That's not the purpose of a guy like that. That's not the purpose of Tony Robbins. That's not the purpose of Gary Vee. That thing is to show you the door, man. Men and women, it's to just show you the door. If you see the door and they say, I'm going to crack this door for you. When you go through, if you got everything you need in place, once I crack this door for you, then you proceed through and then you take all the tools that I have given you so that you can become a success. This is what it's all about, ladies and gentlemen. All we're supposed to do for each other, if you don't remember anything else from what I'm talking about today, someone has to open the door for you. If they open the door for you, it is not their responsibility to keep holding your hand, because sooner or later, you got to become a man or a woman and say, now it's either sink or swim. And Napoleon Hill say that if you're doing it and you're failing, remember, it's not failure, it's a temporary delay. But the delay is okay as long as you keep going. But if you stop, then it's not Antonio's fault. It's not Gary Vee's fault. It's not Les Brown's fault. It's not any of those people that are guiding you fault that you're not making it. The only problem that you need to do, the only thing you need to do is look in that mirror and say, they gave me everything that I need. Why did I not succeed? And if you look deep in yourself, you'll see that it's never those people's fault that you are not accomplishing. It's just the fact that the energy that you put in it is not enough to achieve excellence. But if you can make your mind up to go to a club with no frame of mind at all about what the results are, then you can do the same thing with your dream. So keep your intensity strong. Just remain available to the universe that God has created, not man. I mean, man have built wonderful buildings. They got nice edifices. They even write great books. But the creator of all things, man, there's no comparison, because here's our challenge with this. If there is a man that can compare to what's divine, tell that man or that woman to stop the earth from spinning. If they can't do that, then they can't stop you from pursuing your dream. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for dropping by. Like I said, if you like it, share it. I appreciate it. And the goal is to try to touch as many people as we can. There's 7.5 billion people on the planet. All of them don't have this internet space like we do. But if we can reach 7.5 billion people, then we can change the environment around us. Once again, my name is Leroy. Have a great day. Peace.